Lads, there are 3 reasons that when you're dieting, you're feeling skinny. Now, 2 of these things are completely normal, and 1 we want to be avoiding at all costs and is massively holding us back. Now, I'm going to get straight into this and start with the first one, which a lot of people overlook and is probably one of the largest reasons why you start to feel skinny in a dieting phase, and that is from an intramuscular fullness perspective. And the reason behind this is pretty simple. I'm going to explain it in a pretty simple way anyway. And effectively, your muscle, when we are at any point, is made up of glycogen, which is basically converted from carbohydrates. So we need glycogen, we need water, and we need sodium, so electrolytes. Those 3 things combined, when bound together, are going to create fullness. Now, when we're dieting, our food naturally is going to be lower. And obviously when food is lower, carbohydrates are mainly going to be lower. And obviously if carbohydrates are lower, we're going to have less glycogen in the muscle. Now, this is why when dieting, when trying to optimize performance and trying to optimize for aesthetics, I'm a big believer in high carb, low fat, because at least it's going to keep our glycogen stores as full as possible for the food that we're on, because obviously we're in a deficit, food is going to be lower. Now, on top of that, so less glycogen in the first place, we're going to be depleting more, because the chances are we're doing more steps in a diet phase, we're doing more cardio in a diet phase, and this is all burning and utilizing glycogen as an energy store. So this is why we're effectively having less intramuscular fullness. Now, I want you to see your muscle like a balloon. When this glycogen is down, there is less. Obviously, we've got the same water. Hopefully, we want to be keeping hydrated. We want to be keeping electrolytes in. That gives us our best chance at intramuscular fullness. But when glycogen stores are down, the balloon is going to be less inflated. There is less stuff bound together to give it that pop, to give it that fullness, where almost like the muscle looks like it's pushing against the skin. So the easiest way to explain this is, imagine your penis, lads. You've got a hard dick and you've got a soft dick. When you're dieting, it doesn't mean you are losing muscle necessarily. It just means you've got a soft dick. It simply just means you don't have the fullness. You don't have the pump inside, because glycogen is lower. So it's like having a flaccid dick in a diet phase. And then when you reverse back up afterwards and you push those carbs back in, you push that glycogen back in, when you can afford to get back into a high food state, into a surplus once the body fat's off, it grows again. And now you've got an erect dick or a full muscle. And you've almost got to suffer with a bit of a soft dick, lads. Metaphorically, through this diet phase. You've got to accept that glycogen has to be lower during a diet phase. You are not going to be dieting on 500, 600, 700 gram carbs. You might be on 200, 250, 100, whatever. And that is going to be lower than you would be in a maintenance phase or in a surplus phase. So there's going to be less fullness plus the movement. So you've just got to know that it doesn't mean you're losing tissue. The balloon or the muscle is just simply just a little bit deflated. If anything, the muscle could be bigger. When it comes back to blowing it up, pushing the glycogen next time round, you may actually have a bigger dick or a bigger muscle, right? That's how I want you to see it, and understanding and just having that mindset of acceptance that you're not necessarily losing tissue. You just have less fullness in the muscle. So high carb, low fat diet is one way to at least maximize fullness as much as possible, but it's still going to be less. And then simply nailing hydration and electrolyte balance is the key as well. Now, the second point I want to make on why you may feel skinnier or smaller in a diet phase is because you are smaller. Guess what, guys? If you have less body fat on your body, so I'm in a diet right now, I've probably got about 6 weeks left, my circumference of my body is going to get significantly smaller because there's going to be body fat. There's pinches of body fat here, which won't be there. So my arms are going to feel less tight in a t-shirt. My legs are going to feel less full in shorts. Yes, because of the glycogen going down, but also because the circumference is less due to body fat. But guys, we don't want the body fat. That's the whole point. So We are going to look better with a top off when we're leaner because we get that roundness. But we might not feel as full in clothes, and that's fine. And again, what you need right now is a mindset of acceptance that that is the nature of the game. You don't want the size from body fat. Body fat is not good in any way, shape, or form when it comes to aesthetics. And the final one I want to talk to you about, obviously, is the thing that we want to avoid. And this is losing muscle mass in a diet phase. And unfortunately, I see a lot of people doing this. And a lot of this comes down to bulking, cutting, and taking everything too aggressive. From the start, they go through some crazy, stupid bulk phase again, tons of body fat where they're just eating shit, no structure, as opposed to like a performance drive. And then they get far too aggressive into a diet phase, push cardio through the roof from the get-go. They pull food into the floor. It all seems well and good for a couple of weeks, and then your recovery is gone, your performance is gone. And when your performance is gone, you're gonna start losing muscle tissue because that stimulus is not there. So you're better off at year one. All we talk about with our clients is prime. So we optimize performance, energy, recovery. We hold all of them in the green. We then go step by step through a diet phase, and then we reverse back up, go through a performance drive, recomp, back through a performance drive, recomp. We don't want this. When your graph of aggressiveness in bulking and cutting goes like this, that's when the disaster happens. You just accumulate body fat fast and you lose muscle very fast in a diet. So what we want is we want the general trend to look like a nice shallow arc. We want to drive into a diet nice and shallow, and we want to come out of a diet nice and shallow. Now, we're actually working with one of our VIP guys. We were talking about him in the meeting with some of the other coaches last night. And we've got a guy who we dieted down. I think he was on 2,100 calories at the bottom of his diet. He's now on 3,900 calories after 14 weeks of surplus, still at the same body fat percentage and gaining like 0.25% body mass now per week. And this is because we brought him out like this and we took him in like this. His insulin sensitivity, his ability to partition nutrients is so much better. So don't rush the process in and don't rush it out. That is where body fat will be lost. When performance goes, when recovery goes, you don't need to be extreme with the approach. You just need to be consistent. Squeeze everything out of each level, or lemon as we could call it. Next one, next one, next one. The same on the way back out. Nothing like this. Guys, I hope that's given you and put your mind at a little bit of ease. Hope it's given you a lot of value. If so, and you want to learn more about this, feel free to jump into my free community. In there, we've got free training plans, free nutrition plans. We've got videos on elite mindset. We've got videos on elite physique coaching. We've got videos on entrepreneurship, on lifestyle. I want to create the biggest community of lads who just want to kill it. Being there with like-minded lads, all killing it with the physique, all with a mindset, all accelerating through the career and just becoming the best they can be. So if you want more and you want to be a part of that, feel free. I will put a link below to join the community and I will see you in there. There's going to be new free resources every single week. I just want to give as much extra value to you and actual resources in there because unfortunately I can't do that on this platform. So I'll see you in there, guys, and I'll also see you in the next video.